Indonesia has not ratified either the United Nations Refugees Convention of 1951 and its 1967 protocol. Indonesia could refuse to take care of Rohingya to the convention and protocol. Furthermore, each country has its own policy of the handling of refugees, and another country or UN has no right to impose, especially the national security of countries that are threatened with the arrival of refugees Rohingya. It has been stated that Indonesia has no legal obligation to host refugees because it does not ratify the 1951 Convention. Refugee status of refugees by the UNHCR will receive as much as 90.2 million a month, while waiting to be placed in a third country. While some who had not received status of refugees were still in imprisonment, pending further decision by the UNHCR. However, in accordance with international human rights provision or international norm of human rights, it is also agreed by Indonesia that people have basic rights to be met and cannot be spread by anyone. It is international norm that has come to be the basis for Indonesia's acceptance of Rohingya refugees. Although not at attention the 1951 Convention, besides international norm, the Indonesian government is under pressure from its own people to help the Rohingya refugees with the basic understanding of the religion.
Well, I'm Karina from Group 5, would like to express an opinion. Indonesia basically did not participate in ratifying the 1951 Convention and the 1967 Protocol, but on the basis of human rights, the flow of refugees who continue to come to Indonesia cannot be avoided. In my opinion, if Indonesia gives the right to work for refugees, it can be beneficial for all parties. The right to work legally will help refugees to pool their social resource and capital, so that later they can help them find solutions that suit their individual circumstances. Like us, refugees also need to earn a living to support daily food. Work will also help refugees gain dignity. It empowers refugees. They can contribute to the country that hosts them instead of being passive victims dependent on aid and charities. Empowerment also helps improve the nation through that refugees are burdened to the state that bears them. Granting the right to work is not the main solution to the challenges faced by refugees. However, this is an important step that can be taken immediately even without Indonesia signing the Refugees Convention. The legal right to work can empower refugees to not only survive, but also live decently and thrive. This will benefit Indonesia in the short and long term. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity on behalf of Indonesians. Well, I will respond about how the lives of the refugees will in Indonesia while waiting for the decisions what will be given to them. As we know, Indonesia has not signed the 1951 Refugees Conventions and the 1967 Refugees Protocol, which result in refugees not being able to be employed in Indonesia. Then what is the long-term effort for refugees so that they can survive? Indonesia can issue permits for the refugees to engage in economic activities. There will be concerns if they take Indonesian citizen jobs. Therefore, they can be given permissions to work in the entrepreneurial sector, such as refugees being involved with the local entrepreneurial projects that can help smooth business. They can also involve refugees in livelihoods opportunities. With the community, Indonesia can also invite refugees to cooperate with Indonesian business according to the expertise of the refugees, perhaps such as making food, how to sell strategies. Some of them who are proficient in English can be used. Many of them have an entrepreneurial spirit who can make new job opportunities. Making regular and systematic training programs to empower refugees together with local partners is important so that refugees can learn to be independent while waiting for the placement in third countries. Compared to if refugees are left without working, there is doing things that are not good for the security of the community because they want to earn money. In addition, they also hope that they will not depend on funding or assistance from countries whose nature is unclear how long. If they have special skill or skills, this will also attract third countries to accept them.
Hi everyone, introduce my name is Pradana. I will give feedback about refugees in Indonesia. So at the end of 2016, the President of the Republic of Indonesia signed a presidential regulation on handling refugees from overseas. The presidential regulation contains the main definition and regulates the detention, shelter, and protection of asylum seekers and refugees. Various provisions contained in the presidential regulation are expected to be implemented soon. This will allow the government of Indonesia and UNHCR to work more closely, including in the area of joint registration of asylum seekers. Being among countries that receive a large number of asylum seekers and refugees such as Malaysia, Thailand, and Australia, Indonesia is continuously affected by mixed population movements. After the decline in numbers in the late 1990s, the number of asylum seekers and refugees in Indonesia increased again in 2000, 2001, and 2002. Although the number of arrivals then declined again in 2003 or 2008. The trend of re-arrival increased in 2009, in 2015, and so on until 2020. The annual arrivals declined again. Until the end of December 2020, the cumulative number of refugees in Indonesia was recorded at 13,745 people from 50 countries, and more than half of the population came from Afghanistan. The protection provided by UNHCR begins with ensuring that refugees and asylum seekers are protected from refoulement. Protection or refugees further include the process of verifying the identity of asylum seekers and refugees so that they can be registered and individual documents can be issued.